Hello,
There we go.
everybody, and welcome to our second episode of What the Conversation. We've been trying to get this together, but we've had a couple technical difficulties. But I'm here with my friend Brandon, and we're ready to go today. How are you, Brandon?
I'm good, Alan. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty all right.
Doing
I'm
pretty alright.
halfway done peeling from my most recent sunburn.
You just, the world has to see it on YouTube. Of course, Spotify you won't see it, but beautiful
Yeah,
peeling.
I got to show it.
That's okay. My whole body today, I went out to the lake and I'm fucked. My whole body is just red. We'll
Wow,
just,
you too. So you heard it here first, folks. Canada has sun,
fuck.
not just snow.
It's 40
You can
degrees
get
today.
burnt up here,
It was 40 degrees
right?
Celsius today.
That's hot. It doesn't do that here
No,
very often.
and it's supposed to be like this for the week.
Brutal.
Uh,
We had a hot flash, but 40. I mean, we're a bit more humid over here in Manitoba to what BC was, but we're not at 40 that often. I mean, 35 is hot, right?
last
Even for anywhere, but
the last few summers we've been peaking with heat waves, but like it's been usually 30, 25, 30ish. Either way, I just want to preface this episode saying I apologize for last week. We had a technical difficulty. I had a technical difficulty where my audio recorded twice through two programs and I couldn't fix it. Unfortunately, long story short, we apologize
short
for
story, he's
missing.
a dumbass.
Yeah, exactly. We apologize. And we tried to record another episode yesterday, 2 days ago, 2 days ago,
Yes, 2 days ago, sir.
2 days ago, and we had another fucking. I had another audio glitch. It is tested. I have fixed it. We should not have that issue anymore. We apologize. We love you guys. We're sorry for missing last week. We will get back onto our schedule starting now.
We're not missing any more weeks. This is it. Unless one of us gets abducted or is involved in a very radical political campaign.
Or we're on
Anyways,
vacation.
or we're on vacation.
We probably will be doing this in seasons though. So in hindsight,
That'd be pretty all right. Speaking of vacations, I got one coming up here next week.
hmm.
I'm very excited. I haven't had some time off since I last saw you back in November. Been
Yeah,
looking
but
forward to some well-deserved time off after two big major deadlines. Very happy.
yeah, and that's fair. It's still a little different for you too, though, because you're like you can't come here again, which would be great because then we could podcast literally
I
live, and
could.
it'd be a good time.
It's
But
physically possible, but I'm not sure if I'm able to do it.
it's not a.
It's a 2-day drive each way, and I got 5 days off. I'd be able to see you for one day and spend the next 4 days of my vacation
Yeah,
driving. I'm sorry, Brandon, but I'm not sure
that's
if
all
I'm able
good.
to pull that off.
It's a busy one for me, anyways, with work and stuff. So we won't complain. On that note, too, I guess we better stop rambling on with each other. And you guys are probably like, "All right, what are you talking about?" We're just hanging out. I mean, I hope you guys enjoy our rambling, though. In hindsight, I was having fun with it.
Absolutely. 3-minute intro. With that, I had a quick question for Brandon to start it off, and I'm sure he's going to have some interesting points with this question. Is if you're forced to live in one cartoon universe,
Hmm.
you're you, but you're transformed into a cartoon version of you. Would you rather spend your life in The Simpsons or Family Guy?
Family Guy.
Family Guy, and
Hands down.
obviously why?
It's Family Guy's it's really close to my heart, and the humor, the more the crude humor is honestly more to my tasting than like Simpsons has got really good humor, but really good subtle humor. But I feel like I would like die and have such a good freaking time on the set of Family Guy with all those. Like it would be so interesting and so unique and so fun just to watch things happen, let alone be a part of it. Plus, then like they you can't really die, can you? I mean, they have deaths in the
They
show,
have.
but like
They've died. They've been brought back. I mean, Brian died. They have heaven and they have hell and they have
that's
people
true.
that have died permanently.
That is very true. So technically, you're always aware and always be a good time. I definitely would go Family Guy,
Family Guy over
100%
Simpsons. Okay,
over
we're
Simpsons.
gonna do
Simpsons is
this as
great
like
though.
absolutely. Simpsons is the birthplace of those kind of cartoons. We're gonna do this as like a round robin. Okay, you're at Family Guy. Now, is it Family Guy or American Dad? Remember, you're you. You can be part of any family. You can do whatever the fuck you want, but you're in their universe with their rules, and you could assume that an average life is like an episode.
I love American Dad too. It's just so blunt, but
Remember living in it, living in it.
yeah, I still think I'd rather live in the Family Guy universe because it's just so much more adventurous, if that makes sense.
True,
They
true, true,
push a
true,
few
true.
more topics in a very forward fashion,
Sure, yeah,
and
they
I
do.
enjoy that.
Yeah,
I
okay.
think I'd stick with the Family Guy. I love, and again, American Dad. I'm actually watching the series right now. I finished Criminal Minds, so I'm on Family Guy or American Dad, and it's hilarious. It's hands down one of the funniest shows out there. But
All
I
right,
definitely think
American Dad or Futurama.
Futurama.
Okay, I
It's
need a
got a
why though.
it's got a Futurama has literally just for the it's got a place in my heart because I've watched it for so long in my life, and it's one of those shows that got canceled and came back, and I was stoked for when it came back, and it's always been stupid, hilarious humor. And could you imagine living in the future, flying around spaceships as a delivery person? Like that'd be cool as hell. I don't care if I'm risking my life at that point.
Bet. Okay. Futurama or South Park.
No, that's a hard one
I'm trying to make it more difficult.
because like so you know
Mm.
I'm on edge, but living it. I would I think I'd be South Park. I think I'd try to be part of Eric's family just to see what the shit Eric pulls. It'd be a fucking movie in itself anyway. So like,
You got to gain like 40 pounds to even get a chance
worth it,
at making it into
worth it,
Eric's family, man.
worth it. I'll do
I
it.
could make it into Eric's family as is.
You
So,
can
because
pull. You can do
I'm
the
not
Eric
fat, I'm
voice.
big bone.
You can do the Eric voice too. So I mean, you could totally pull off the dad with that fucking voice.
I think so. I love South Park. One of my favorite cartoons.
I think you'd choose South Park over anything too.
Well, it's a loaded question, really. I mean, they all as much as I'd like to think it'd be the most fun cartoon to live in, it'd also be the most dangerous and volatile and chaotic.
That's true, but like hilarious. And Kenny keeps coming back, and you got like
I mean, if I
Mr.
could adapt the
Garrison
same
is
mentality
fucking
as them
Trump.
and not give a fuck, then I'd be sure, probably. My God, you killed Kitty, you bastards! And then
They
they go
killed
on
Kenny.
about
They're
doing their day.
bastards. And you're like, if you get fucking done, I mean, I just for the whole cinematic aspect of standing in South Park and watching the chaos happen would be so fucking hilarious. I'm telling you, like you're just standing there watching these fucking kids sit there cuss out the teacher and then fucking throw a desk at somebody or something. It would be
Giant
hilarious.
Barbara Streisand's coming in, killing everybody, smashing the town, fucking
You got fucking
Tawny
Mickey
Tawny.
Mouse over there, Disney, like as a corporation, just stomping down New York and shit.
I think I would love to be in a few South Park episodes. I think I'd
Yeah,
love to live in for
it'd
a
be a
few
good
episodes.
time. It'd be a good time for sure.
The Britney Spears episode. I mean, she's
Hmm.
doing this whole thing right now, going to court or whatever. I don't know what that's all about.
Oh,
I
it's
saw
about the vlog
what
or the kind of the lifestyle vlog movie that came out about her.
again, totally off my radar.
Yeah.
I have no idea it even existed. I
Um,
thought Britney Spears kind of, you know, is gone ever
it's
since she
called
shaved her head.
yeah. So it's called Framing Britney Spears, and it talks about the whole thing about how she she for her whole life was controlled and manipulated, and she did the things she did because she was controlled and manipulated, and more specifically I think it was by her father. I haven't seen the documentary, but I've heard a lot about it, and I've heard a lot of it's actually true. How the father controlled all of her money for her life, abused her. You know, she would have to do whatever he said, go hang out with the people he wanted to, things like that, almost like to sex trafficking level. But then she was there, she ended up developing drug problems and stuff because of her lifestyle and being so trapped. This is from what I understand, so I could be wrong in some things, but from what I've understood, that's how it is. I don't know if you noticed a while Twitter. There's a big thing about apologizing to Britney Spears on Twitter, and that's because of this thing. A lot of actors and singers and actresses and all that apologized for the way they thought of her and the way they treated her because they didn't realize what she was really going through.
I like to meet things initially with skepticism, but It's like 30 years
It's
later of
it's
being
not
a pop
Britney.
star and you want to remain
It's
relevant. And this is your attempt to remain
it's
relevant.
not
Like,
Britney Spears talk. It's not Britney Spears. Isn't the one in the talking in the documentary. It's either her manager or someone of her family members. I can't remember again who because I haven't seen the movie. But yeah, it's actually told from a third person perspective. And I don't think she's really in it very much,
hmm.
other than in the little cameos of her singing or whatever.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Not really. Interesting is me being polite. I could give a fuck less. I didn't
Britney
know that was the
Spears,
whole thing.
I'm
I
sorry
thought
for
Britney
judging
Spears
you.
fell out of
He doesn't care, but
mainstream
I care.
relativity for a long time. Well, I don't care, dude. I don't know her.
I care.
I don't care. I ain't lying. No way.
We
If
calling
I
me a
met her
liar?
and she was cool, what?
Calling me a liar?
Calling most everybody who fucking
That's
says they care about Britney Spears a
that's
liar.
fair. That's fair. Probably Twitter is just for all the fucking
Clout chasers.
yeah, all the upvotes and
Clout chasers.
to be relevant in the news again.
Right? I mean, you're 30, you're a pop star, I can just go off and start being mean. I don't need to do that. So
It's gonna be a lot of flack if you do that, but I mean,
I might. I might. No, I'm just thinking of Sarah Lynn from BoJack Horseman. I'm thinking exactly Sarah Lynn from BoJack Horseman. She was super famous pop star, and then she hit 30. And then she started falling out of relativity, so she started doing more crazier stuff and drug problems and scandals and trying to get any kind of attention she could because she wasn't a famous pop singer anymore. But that's BoJack Horseman,
but I also
not
think
Britney Spears.
like there's a point to this even where you take it with a grain of salt because you don't truly know, and I don't think anybody will truly know exactly how this all played out because you could watch this documentary and there could be facts about it, but you still don't know the whole story, right? You're always seeing it from a perspective. It's never unbiased, and I'm saying that seriously. News and stuff like that, movies, they're never truly unbiased. They can say they are, but they're not.
No, they'll always
It's
lean
all
one way or
yeah,
the other.
it's
I
always a
agree.
leaded bias.
So then at that point, the important part is how much you care or how important it is to know.
And kind of where your empathy lies too with what's going on and how you treated and acted around said scenarios and people.
I mean, I pray for Britney Spears. Hashtag I love Britney Spears. I'm a very sensitive person. I hope everybody sees me that way. Um,
You're a fucking
I love
asshole.
you, Britney Spears. I'm very sorry for all the troubles you've been through. I watched your movie. It changed my life. Um,
I'm just waiting for you to be all right. Ever like and subscribe, follow the podcast. That's what I was waiting for. Go for
oh
the
shit!
rap, guys. Now we're fired. Cancelled again. Cancel culture.
Cancel again. Number 4.
Real
You know,
good.
I'm actually really excited. That would be a compliment in a way to be attempted to be canceled, for someone to attempt to cancel us. In a way, that would be like this notoriety of they're doing good enough to people would notice, right? People want us to say stuff that they
But
want to hear.
but I still
That would
don't.
be a compliment,
I
man.
still don't want to get canceled or go after the flag.
Oh no, it'd be a
But
pain in the ass and it'd fucking
I
cause a
mean,
lot of problems, but it would still be like a compliment.
there's still not gonna be. I mean, there's still gonna be people who dislike and disagree with us
Oh
regardless.
yeah,
So it's not like it's
that's
a
gonna
big deal.
happen all day
Because
long.
I'm gonna
But
tell you guys right now, and Alan knows, I'm gonna be as openly honest as I can, even if there's a lot of bias. If I don't feel bad about something, I don't feel bad about it. If I do something, I did it. I don't feel bad about it. A lot of it, like when I talk about it and my opinions, and I think the same's gonna be with you. So deal with it, or I guess you can go. But we still love you guys. Thanks for watching. Subscribe.
yeah, like, subscribe, comment your favorite color and your mother's maiden name and your pet's first name, and the last 4 digits of your social, and hashtag hashtag. Well, we can't say brofist. That's been done before.
Yeah,
Fuck,
that's
we'll
fucking
figure something
beauty
out.
pie. What the hell? We gotta think of something now. Now you're thinking me think. Okay.
Oh man. Ugh. No, I mean, if we market ourselves properly the first time and say, "Hey, we're gonna be offensive assholes," you can't really say that was unexpected or out of the blue or we changed. I mean, South Park hasn't been canceled yet.
Nor is Family
Yes,
Guy. But
there.
Family Guy's tried.
In reality, I believe South Park's a more serious commentary on social events, but they do have a little bit of crude humor in there.
I,
So,
actually,
and they're fine.
that kind of gives me a good question for you, kind of involving the whole cancel culture and the cancel culture and media more
Mhm.
specifically. What do you think of all of the shows and things what's the show called? Caroline, Roxanne was it that got canceled recently? Because she said one offensive thing on Twitter that wasn't relevant to the show, but still because of it she got canceled completely. And there's been other instances even where people have there's a lot of hearsay where it's caused shows to be canceled or actors or actresses to be
Well,
kicked off
Rick
and
and
canceled.
Morty, the creator of Rick and Morty, same thing.
Yeah, so what's your opinion on that? Because I think you put out things like Family Guy, who legitimately are trying to get canceled. You can't say they're not right now. You look at the fucking new seasons of the app, like they're
I have.
horrible.
They're pushing the
They
limits.
are.
They
They
are.
honestly are, and they don't get canceled. But the moment somebody says one thing in one show or something like that, it gets canceled. And I have a theory. It's because people that watch it don't expect it, and I think
Okay.
that pisses people off to an extent. I could be wrong, but that's almost to the
Sure.
point where I've seen, because anybody that's open about being offensive or racist or homophobic or you know what I mean, any of those kind of
Blah
things,
blah blah. Yeah.
they don't get canceled. But the moment somebody says, "Oh, you're gay," or "This was gay," blah blah blah, and they get canceled, and it's like, to me, I think it's the expectation, and that's what's causing people to get canceled. So I don't know what's your
Word.
opinion on that. I'm kind of curious.
Uh, I might be a little more jaded. I think it's mostly political. Whatever the hot button is at the moment. I mean, if a high profile actor says something that fits the narrative, say, bashing the LGBT community is the flavor of the month, or racism is the flavor of the month for the past several months, or if eating the rich is the flavor of the month, like they're gonna pick a celebrity that'll fit their narrative and just go for it. I don't think. I think it's just all political use of social media. Cancel somebody, cancel don't. It doesn't matter who it is really. It's just maybe they did a TV show that's most recent, that's really relevant, that's trending, right? I think that's the reason they do it, is to try and push political agendas based on what's most relevant and most trending, what's going to get the most clicks and views. Yeah, I mean, I severely doubt canceling all these celebrities, everybody trying to cancel them, or their managers or them apologizing, actually care that much. It's all an act. It's their job. It's part of how they manage themselves. It's part of social media. So I think cancel culture is a tool. It's politically motivated, and it's strictly used to advance different agendas. Cancel somebody who didn't agree with you. That was pretty political to me.
And that's fair. I guess that's a really good perspective on it because I never actually put it that way. But when you look at it now and all the media, it's all turning into politics. Fucking
It's all politics.
politicians are turning into media. Everything's morphing together. And even look at Canada Bill C-10.
That's I want
It's the
you. I want
definition of politics and media.
you gotta do the astronaut meme where you're the astronaut looking at social media or Facebook and you're like, wait, it's all politics? And I go behind you with a gun and I'm like, it's always has been. And yeah, we'll make that meme. But yes, I
That's
think it's just
fair.
all political.
That's
I think
fair.
I think it's just all political.
Did you see that new bill that just came out, Bill C-10?
Nope.
So
I'll
okay,
tell you, I'm
so
not familiar with that bill.
it's really interesting. In short
Really?
context, it gives the government full power over media.
Okay, that
Obviously,
sounds.
it's obviously like I say, it's kind of that's kind of a very broad
Yes. Hmm.
thing. But I'll read. And so Bill C-10, an act
Don't
to
read the whole
amend
bill.
the Broadcasting Act, is a
Okay.
proposed Canadian federal legislation introduced on November 3rd, 2020, by the Ministry of Canadian Heritage Stephen Guilbeault. I don't know how to say his name. During the second session of the 45th Canadian Parliament, it basically seeks to amend Broadcasting Act to account the increased prominence of internet video and digital media by undertaking the conduct of broadcasting over the internet to the regulatory scope of Canadian like CRTC. basically essentially gives CRTC more power to control things like YouTube videos and Twitch
Hmm.
streamers and even us in the podcasting, and because I'm a Twitch streamer as well, but things like that. And it's really interesting to see how it's going to turn out. I think
I
because
didn't
it's
know it was a super relevant or even pertinent
and not a lot of
issue
people
up in
did.
here in Canada compared to America. I mean, all I hear about is America.
Well, that's
So
normal, isn't it? Fox News does a hell of a job getting across the world.
no, but that's why it sounds like a bill that would absolutely sounds like it'd be introduced or try to be introduced
Yeah.
in America. I don't know how necessary it is up here. Do we have any big bad robber barons like Mark Zuckerberg here in fucking Canada taking over tech companies that we don't know about?
We
Like,
do well. I mean, Bell owns so much of the almost has
well,
a
they're just a
monopoly.
conglomerate. It doesn't
Yeah,
mean they're evil.
but they're almost a monopoly, and they are evil. They're the reasons we have high fucking IS. Canada is one of the
They're
highest.
just capitalists. They're not evil.
Yeah, not even gonna, not even gonna just like respond to that. Capitalists are not evil. I'm gonna
No,
fucking
they're
put
two different things. You can be an evil capitalist, but evil and capitalism are not synonymous.
but they're
Sure,
symbiotic. They work very well together, and more evil people are capitalists than fucking good people.
I'd say I'd ask to cite your sources, but I'm not going to disagree with you.
I
I
mean,
can
like,
name a lot of people who aren't capitalists that are evil. That's why I'm saying it's not synonymous.
yeah, no, I'm not.
Yeah, they can go hand in hand,
But but but
absolutely.
but there's more. My point too is because most capitalists are some sort of a sociopath or that level. Anyways, the high ups that are
Sure,
actually
sure,
doing a good job, and that's
sure,
because
makes
it's all
sense.
about
That's
cost.
usually narcissism, narcissist
Absolutely,
personality disorder.
but that's how most people that have that are capitalists through and through, and they do evil things for
Trump,
themselves.
Mark Zuckerberg,
Yeah,
almost any other CEO
almost any other CEO or founder.
that I can think of.
Exactly my point, right? So, um, I think then they're the good ones. They are, but they're far and few between. And the good ones that are successful for a reason.
Sure.
Where a lot of the bad ones are successful because they can manipulate their way up there.
Yeah, and that's just
Most of them,
how the
right?
landscape's set out.
So it's an
Dog eat dog.
interesting political discussion that we definitely should save for later. We're gonna get
We should
triggered.
have a whole long
People,
conversation. That'd be
we will.
fantastic.
We'll do a podcast for you guys just to hear our views on politics. It's gonna trigger a lot of fucking people, but it is funnier than hell, and we go off.
We know what we believe in, which adds substance to the conversation. We're not wishy-washy. We know what and we understand what we believe in. So it'd be an alright podcast. I think that's a good topic.
It's a good
Pocket it,
topic.
pin it.
Just if you get triggered, don't fucking watch it.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
telling you
It
right
will
now.
incite
No.
argument.
Because it's again, it's all bias. So right. Anyways, that was a fun little political ramble. What else do we have on the list of questions? You have any more round robins for me? I'm curious. We kind of went
Round
off there.
robins. Well, we ended on South Park. I don't think there's anything I could
No,
take it
no.
from South Park. So, outside of that, anymore. Yeah, but that wouldn't be cartoons. I'd say you're very familiar with Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and you're very familiar with The Office.
Mm-mm,
What? Who
mm-mm.
isn't familiar with The Office? Okay, give
I
me another very common sitcom. Modern Family, Two and a Half Men, How
Modern
I
Family,
Met
Two
Your
and a Half
Mother.
Men, How I Met Your Mother is also a really good one. Big Bang Theory, if you're
Big
into that
okay,
kind of
Big Bang
stuff.
Theory. Would you rather work in Brooklyn Nine-Nine or be roommates in Big Bang Theory with Sheldon?
Definitely Brooklyn Nine-Nine, because as funny as it would be to be a roommate with Sheldon for the first week, I'd probably want to kill everybody after that.
That's how they feel. What do you think? They're friends. Yeah, I
That's my
guess.
exactly my point though. Like, knowing me, oh, I'd fucking kill somebody.
And you
Sheldon
don't get
would be.
that many
I'd fucking
benefits living with Sheldon, do you?
no. You have to live by his rules and pay rent. Fuck that. I ain't doing
Okay.
that.
But Brooklyn
I'd
Nine-Nine,
probably
you got to work with
no.
Sully and Hitchcock.
Hell yeah, I do. We love Sully and Hitchcock.
That'd be fun to work in a fantasy police station.
Dibs
pretty
on
fun.
being Rose's partner.
Naughty boy.
Not even that. I just love that dark mysteriousness. It's fucking hilarious. Imagine
Exactly.
fucking
Naughty
watching her
boy.
interview somebody or interrogate somebody. Like,
Yeah,
it'd be
could be a
fun as
little
hell.
sketch. I'd like to
Or
play good cop, bad cop with her. I could be a really good
yeah,
good cop.
yeah. Or be like Raven Holt's sergeant or something. It'd be fun
Like
as
Terry
fuck.
Crews.
Yeah, it'd be a good time. They're like polar opposites, but it kind of works real well.
They are. But they're both brutally police officers. That's what I was gonna
That's
say.
true.
Yes, that's what I was gonna
Okay.
say.
Yeah. Wow. Already. You know, I'm never mind. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know where you're going
Brandon,
with that.
how many sugar cubes do you think you could fit in your stomach? Because they dissolve right away, but still doesn't go anywhere. So how many sugar cubes do you think you could eat before you couldn't eat anymore?
I don't even know how to answer that or know what the answer would be because I don't even know how much my stomach can fit. I don't know how big it is in my. I ain't
Well,
even gonna lie.
let's pretend a kilogram bag of fucking sugar cubes has a couple hundred. Do you think someone could eat a whole bag of sugar cubes?
I mean, you're gonna be curled up in a ball in the corner screaming for the next fucking 2 days, but probably you might get diabetes. You might have a heart attack. But yeah, I do think it's possible.
Okay,
I
stay
think you would
tuned.
have a
More
heart attack.
podcast episodes. Um, just curious.
That was just a very random question, so that was interesting.
It is. It's because I don't know what other fucking TV shows to ask you about. I don't watch all that many TV shows, Brandon. I watch a
See, and
lot
I
of
do.
movies. I watch tons of movies.
I watch a lot of movies, but not movies that you watch. Actually, that's not true. We both watch thrillers.
We watch thrillers.
We're both thriller fans, which is crazy.
You
Like
know,
Saw
speaking,
series is probably my favorite series. So
Saw is a great thriller series. I got one of my favorite thriller series. I got a question. I know you've seen at least one of these movies. So, from Kung Fu Panda, which one of the Fantastic or Furious Five would you fight if you had to fight one? With your
as long
current
as
skills.
as long as he doesn't get me in a whooshy finger hold, definitely fucking Kung Fu Panda. I can't remember his name, but
Po?
yeah,
You'd fight Po? He's the fucking
Yeah.
Dragon Warrior.
that's because he's got the whoosh. Don't bait. Just fist it so that he can't grab your fingers and you're fine. He's just
You've
gonna
seen
grab
the
you.
movies. He's got some other powers, like the belly slam. He took out a lot of people, man. He's pretty good.
I mean, the belly slam is true as well, but you can just like tuck and roll and get out of the way.
All right, you
Gotta
would
be
fight
fast,
Po.
bro. Gotta
You
be
would
fast.
fight Po. That's
He's a yeah. Yeah.
despicable. He's a
stand
nice
by
guy.
it.
He's a
I
nice
stand.
guy.
So you gotta turn it around on me.
That's a terrible choice, Brandon. Your opinion is
What
wrong.
if it's like an MMA sparring fight?
What? Then that'd even be
Because I still.
terrifying. I'd be terrified. I mean, it's your choice. I'd be terrified going against Po. I'd be
I don't want
absolutely
to do it.
terrified.
Why? Who would you choose?
I think Monkey, because I think he would be able to beat me the fastest. And
That's fair.
it would be more blunt force trauma, like punches and kicks and tail slaps rather than Vipress's, she might sting me or bite me or slap me with a tail or wrap around me or do some weird shit. Same with Mantis.
And you're human. You need an
I don't know how
antidote
to
or
I don't know how
die.
to I don't know how to deal with a little bug that can move that fast. A monkey I think would be the most realistic. Monkey, yeah. And he also is voiced and played by Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan's a pretty nice guy. He might take it easy on me.
Probably not. It's Jackie Chan, bro.
Probably not.
It's fucking
Probably
Jackie
not.
Chan, bro. Can you imagine? She's
He
fucking
probably
going
has
at
some
you like
pride
Jackie
in
Chan
his,
wouldn't let
in
up.
his work. He's
He would
probably
not let
he'll
up.
probably say, "I'm sorry." I kick my ass. I would love to get the shit kicked out of me by Jackie Chan in a movie.
Okay, I got a good one for it. What Fast and Furious movie would you want to be in if you got to be in a Fast and Furious?
I can't pull them all out of my ass at the moment. There's so
Why
many.
not? Yeah, but they're memorable because they're terrible.
No, but because I remember the episodes and what happened in them, but I can't put the number of the movie to them. I like the Tokyo Drift one. I think
Third
Tokyo
one.
Drift.
I would do the same. Third one, absolutely.
Is
Third
that
or the
three? I
third,
just thought it
yeah.
was called Tokyo Drift. I didn't know
Third,
it was numbered.
third or the second, definitely the second one. Right after, because I don't like the gang versus cock beef in the first one. I think it'd be too sketchy.
Sure.
I think the second one would be more fun because they have balls and they got away with everything they did. And then you had an FBI agent practically fucking worked with the gang now.
7 would be the saddest. Isn't 7 where Toretto
Yeah,
and Paul Walker split apart at
yeah.
the
It's
end?
not
Is
Paul
that
though.
one?
It's not Paul though. It's not. Yeah,
Or whatever
that's
his name in the movie is?
no,
I don't
but that
know.
was his brother. That was Paul Walker's brother that played in that fucking part.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
it's
the
because he was
last,
already dead. Yeah,
yeah,
you're right. You're right. You're
because he
right. You're
died
right.
halfway through the making of the
Yes.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if you watch that movie, if you can tell a difference in the actors' demeanors from scenes but when Paul Walker was alive to when the scenes where Paul Walker after he'd passed away.
I never
I
thought
wonder
about
if you
that.
can if they're that good or that cold or that brilliant of actors or that good of editing to where you can't notice a difference, or even if you're trained you can tell that they're sad or they don't talk to him the same way or something like that.
I don't
That'd be
think like
interesting.
I think like in the eighth one, it would be a little harder. But once you pass the first movie, it would be progressively easier to deal with. You know,
Maybe
kind of like
they it's really hard to swap out a main character like that.
it is. I mean, and he didn't do a good
Walking
job.
Dead
No,
did
no
it
offense,
okay.
no offense to Paul Walker, his brother, but he didn't do a good job either. But
No, I vaguely remember the movies after that.
no,
That's
I,
later in the.
I stopped watching it after that. I haven't seen a new one anymore. It's not
I
worth my
probably
time.
have too. Well, if they're not making Fast and Furious movie anymore, what's
They
Vin
are.
Diesel
There's a new
gonna
one
do?
coming
Is he
out.
just gonna die? Oh, they're still making them. Okay,
They're going to space soon, man.
that was that's not a. You're not joking right now.
No,
You sound
this is
pretty
not a joke.
serious. You aren't
No,
laughing or
this
nothing.
is not a joke. They are going to space.
What are they just gonna fucking
Fucking fly cars into space
steal
or
the
something?
DeLorean and zoom in as fast as you can and get no, that's time travel. See, I'm confused already and I haven't even heard of the movie. Like that's how many
In
movies they've made.
yeah, in Fast and Furious 9, they go to space. I don't know how they're gonna play it out. The movie's coming out soon, but
I
it's
want to
gonna
see
be
him
terrible.
driving cars on space. I want to see driving cars on the moon and
Fucking
how they try to make the gravity work. I want to see that.
fucking Dom's gonna be sitting there in his fucking Challenger, in his old ass Challenger, just fucking dropping a gear, doing a fucking drift on the moon, like.
He'll throw his handgun in the air. It'll do 5 or 6 flips with no gravity. He'll do a drift. He'll switch gears, and then he'll grab his handgun and shoot because it'll be in the perfect
That's
position.
true as fuck.
I could
But
see
it
it.
won't. And then it would actually shoot because even though it wouldn't in space, because the giant vacuum that
Is you're not supposed to notice that. You're supposed to just go be cool with that. How well he did that spin and shot his gun. You're not supposed to ask questions, Brandon.
I ask a lot of questions with the logic. That's like I could totally bring a good example to fucking logic and gun logic specifically to a movie that doesn't make any sense. Have you seen John Wick 3?
I think I have. I love John Wick.
The third one is when he's basically running from the
I have not. No
okay.
spoilers.
Okay, I'm not gonna spoil it, but
Okay.
there's multiple scenes in the movie where they get into fights. John Wick and whatever happens, right? Because he gets into a lot of fights in these movies. But he'll be running through somewhere and he'll be shooting, and there'll be a group of kids behind them with teachers and stuff, and they'll be shooting off into the public, and they'll just stand there. They won't react. They'll just be hanging out, doing their own thing, like whatever. And I was watching the movie, and I loved John Wick, and I even thought the third one was really good outside of this whole
Yeah,
thing.
I love John Wick too.
But it did not make any sense to me to see people fucking shooting in every direction, and people are just walking and being pedestrians and
Were
doing
they
whatever, no reaction at all. Like
were they part of the movies or were they just in the background of the shots or what?
I'm assuming they're probably background because they're just walking around doing whatever their thing is.
It seems
Like,
a little weird that they'd miss a detail like that in a John Wick movie. I
but
mean,
they
it's not
did.
like an independent movie or a
Yeah,
B movie or
and
something.
but
It's
they
a high budgeted movie.
yeah, and they did. there's people running around with guns and pushing people out of the way, and nobody's running away from that,
Or
and
maybe
it doesn't make
it's
sense to me.
in New York or Russia or something where they just don't give a fuck.
That's you gotta have a lot of balls to not give a fuck when there's 2 people, 3 people running around with different fucking guns and shit in the middle of a fucking public area. Like I
It
would
was
be
a war.
scared.
Was it a war-ridden country or was it America?
It was America.
Oh, then yeah, maybe it was New York.
It just blew my mind. Like there was in one scene there was literally a group of kids and their teachers, and they didn't move. Anyway,
Hmm.
it's the one flaw in that movie that I did not like. Otherwise, it was written well and it was a genuinely good movie. But it's just like, why?
Yeah, and this is no offense to you, but when an amateur movie viewer, like you're not a professional, you're not a director, you
No,
don't have any experience.
no,
When you could put something like that out, you know other people have, and it's bad. That's
absolutely,
not good.
absolutely, 100%. Because yeah, I love watching movies, but I am by no means a fucking fucking movie
Cinephile?
critic or a cinephile by any means. Yeah, so
I'm a pretty big cinephile, but I'm not trained.
I
I
stick to
just
my
like to sit on
thrillers
my
and
ass and watch
horrors.
movies. I have been experimenting. I got several classics. My parents give me really good recommendations very often. Most recent best recommendation was Smokey and the Bandit. Very classic. I've never seen it. I watched it recently. You can find it on the internet. Watch it. Beautiful movie. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Smokey and the Bandit. What's it about?
Smokey and the Bandit. It's a truck driver is supposed to get a shipment to the other side of America or Texas or Arcana, Texas, with a trailer or an 18-wheeler full of beer for someone, and the mayor of the city gave him a challenge, like, oh, if you can do it in X amount of hours, well, you'll be pretty cool. No one's ever done it before. And Smokey and the bandit, well, one of the main character, is it Burt Reynolds?
Burt Reynolds. Yeah, I was just say Burt Reynolds is
Burt
in that movie.
Reynolds, with his excellent mustache, gets in a sports car and leads this semi and chases all the cops away and lures them away. And it's just a big car chase scene all the way to the Texas Arcana. And they're followed by a really hilarious cop who crosses state lines because he's taken this thing personally. And it's funny. It's a good comedy. It's great. There's lots of classic
I, s-
one-liners and quotes in there that you're going to love.
I see that they reference Coors a lot too, which is really funny.
Yes, they reference Coors a lot. I
I'm
think
a
that's what's
fucking
in the
beer
trailer.
drinker, so
I think that's because that's the whole thing. Is the mayor says, "Oh, we're celebrating this American Day festival or some sort of thing, and we need this beer. We can't get it here. Only you can get it here." Yada yada. They challenge him, and
that's funny as
that's the
fuck.
whole movie is delivering beer. But it's
That's a
fantastic.
movie I'd watch. 1977. I'd watch it.
It's beautiful, dude. Watch it. Trust me, watch it.
Sorry,
Trust.
Coors though.
Who's Forrest Gump's mama? She's in that movie too.
Oh, I don't know the
I don't
actress's
know
name,
who
but I know who you're talking
his
about.
actress's name, but she's again a very famous actress who's been around a while. She's in that movie. She
Did you
plays what?
did oh no, I was just gonna ask. I thought you were done there, to be honest. But did you hear about supposedly the new Forrest Gump movie coming out?
A new Forrest Gump movie? What did his kid grow up?
So his kid is his actual kid is in it as his kid.
Wait,
Tom
his
Hanks'
actual kid,
kid.
like Tom
Tom
Hanks's
Hanks'
kid?
kid is supposedly supposed to be in it, from what I've heard. I don't know how true it is, but supposedly
I
it's
don't know. I'd love to see it be real, but my first Google search here has parody in brackets and an explanation as to why this movie is never going to happen and some fake trailers. Yeah, I don't know how
yeah.
real this would be.
Yeah, I heard it. It was probably a rumor I heard. I wasn't positive by it, but yeah, like
True. That's a pretty.
supposedly it was.
I'd like to hear that rumor. That's a rumor that I'd like to hear be true. A Forrest Gump sequel. Yeah, dude. Forrest Gump's kid. Would it be totally different? Like, because Forrest Gump's kid's not dumb like him. Remember, they
Yeah,
confirmed
no,
that
he's
in the
not.
movie.
He's smart. Yeah,
So is he gonna do this some cool shit, or oh, I guess it's not a real movie, so let's not. There's nothing to speculate.
we could make it.
Good luck getting the
Yo, Tom
rights.
Hanks. Yo, Tom Hanks. Hit me up.
Yes, Tom Hanks. I'd love to commission and option Forrest Gump 2 as a movie. I can write a script in about 2.5 days. If you'd like to read it, please reach out
That's
to
pretty
us. Our
impressive.
email address is in the description below if Tom Hanks happens to be watching our podcast. Thank you very much. Or Tom Hanks' manager. You know, you're just as important. I
That's
love you
true.
too.
You are. You're just as important indeed. You have all the ends,
Not as cool, but just as important.
and I'll just I'm not a good writer, so I'll just
I'm not a good writer too. I can just write a lot if I
I'll be
need
the
to.
producer, I guess. I'll get you coffees. I'll be the intern. I don't know.
Intern. Yeah. Intern's not a bad job. I mean, you have all the power. They don't pay you. What are they going to do? Dock your
That's
pay?
that's true. I could do a shit job, and you couldn't do shit about it.
I mean, that's a terrible mindset. Never think about that. Try your hardest. Try
Every
your
every
hardest. How's
intern
math?
in Hollywood, straight up, you're not getting paid. Fuck it. Who
You
cares?
just
Do
leave
what
when
you
you want.
gotta do.
Well, to be also
Take the
fair,
free food and run away.
it might be actually that way just because there's so many people trying to get into Hollywood or become found that
That's
they
true.
do that intern shit on purpose. Maybe it's not like that because of that. Maybe people actually are busting ass because they think they can get a glimpse of getting their own acting role or a cameo in a movie. I don't know what the landscape is in Hollywood. I don't think I'd go. As much as I'd love to be an actor, I'd love to be famous. I'd love to be on TV. I'd love to, be the next Jonah Hill. I'd gain a few extra pounds to do that. But
Yeah, but he goes big and goes small, and goes big, goes small. He loses weight and then he gains weight and then loses weight.
dude, celebrities all use drugs to do that too. As soon as I become
That's
a
true.
celebrity, I can afford whatever I want to become fat or skinny. Doesn't matter.
Jesus Christ.
What?
Ah,
I would be a
yo,
celebrity.
Doc.
That'd
Yo,
solve a lot of my
Doc.
problems. It'd create a
Yo,
bunch,
Doc.
but it'd solve a lot.
I need to gain 30 pounds in 2 days for this role. Can you hook me up with something? 10
I
days later,
got you.
yo, Doc, I'm done with my role. I need to lose this weight again. Can you hook me up with something? Like, look.
Pretty much. Basically.
But
That's how I'd go about it, whether it works or not. That would be my first attempt.
I
That
mean,
would be what I
I
do.
guess, but like, the actors and actresses that actually do that actually genuinely like work out and shit to lose weight or actually eat to gain weight.
Yes.
You gotta be really into it, you know, just like fucking the Joker was. What's his face? The original actor of the Joker when he fucking ended up killing himself. I can't remember his name though.
I don't know the original. The farthest
Uh,
back Joker I can think of is Jack Nicholson. And I know
uh,
he's not the original, but
Heath
he's my
Ledger.
favorite to date. Keith Ledger.
Heath
What?
Ledger, the Joker in the Dark Knight, because he did such a good job because he's an improv actor. He turned into the role. The role was him, or I can't. There's a specific name I can't remember what it is for the acting, but he literally the role took over his life, and he ended up actually killing himself in real life because the role fucked him up so bad because he took it so seriously.
That sounds like he had maybe some problems going on.
I mean,
That's
probably
some delusions of grandeur type
absolutely,
shit.
but like he still was it was because he was so into the role he was in. Whether
Yeah,
he had
no, I
like
mean,
some sort of social disability, mental
he
disability,
could be real.
you know what I mean? Where it just literally took over his life because he disassociated and turned into a delusion. I don't know, but
Well, when was the last time you watched BoJack?
fuck, probably a year. Last time you were
Because
here.
BoJack Horseman, well, he plays Filbert in the later seasons, and he's on painkillers and drugs and alcohol, and he keeps playing this role in a TV series that he forgets when he's in the role, and he forgets when he's actually himself again, and he goes home and he thinks he's still acting, but he's not. He's just
Mhm.
sleeping with his co-star, and he forgets what reality is. So they portrayed that in BoJack Horseman, but that was all related to substance abuse for the most part.
Yeah, and
Um,
it probably had a
and
point
stress, blah blah
realistically,
blah blah
but
blah. I can only imagine. I mean, it's totally natural and normal for famous people to do too much substance stuff.
well, and they're so good at hiding it because they have to learn how to hide it. So you never actually truly know unless it's open.
It's a real thing, whether they're doing it consciously or not. I mean, I learned
Yeah.
about it in school for medicine. The example given was rock stars. After a hard, long rock show, millions of fans cheering for them, yada yada. They don't go home and go relax. they can't. Like you can't go up and down and shut down like that crazy, especially if you're doing drugs and that. So they go home and they party, or they
Yeah.
turn on loud music and blast it, and it just eats at people. It's very stressful. So I totally believe it.
Well,
I never heard
people.
specifically about Heath Ledger, but I believe it.
Yeah, that one was pretty controversial at the time. I'm pretty sure too, because he was so crazy. It was so like intense. But okay, it was yeah. So playing the Joker was physically and mentally draining for him, and he ended up having a drug problem, and he ended up ODing.
Okay, so that's a little different than what you said, but it kind of sounds about right to what a lot happens to
Yeah,
a lot of actors.
yeah.
Unfortunately, I mean, we were just
Especially when
talking about
you're
Britney Spears earlier, right? She
well,
has substance abuse issues, same kind of
and
thing, stress, blah blah blah.
especially when you got to play that fucking super dark role and stuff like that. I'm sure that does take a mental toll on you to
I've
some
always
degree.
wanted to ask that to Will Arnett, you know, because he plays BoJack Horseman in BoJack
Hmm.
Horseman, and he said he did that entire free churro monologue at his mom's funeral. The entire episode is literally just him reading a funeral eulogy,
Hmm.
and he does it so well, and it's so emotional. And it's, I want to ask him, like, you've been doing this show for 7 seasons. It's pretty deep. It's pretty dark. It's pretty nihilistic, as far as I could tell. Does that affect you? Are you literally just acting? Do you take any of it to heart? Like, I'd be curious to find out from, the horse's mouth, pun intended. I'd like to ask Will Arnett himself. That joke's going to be underappreciated. Anyways, I like Will Arnett. He's also Canadian. I just figured that out recently.
That would, but yeah, I mean, going onto that issue would be really interesting to interview an actor, a Canadian actor too. Yeah, some Ryan Reynolds shit over here.
Man, Canadian actors and famous Canadian people, they can get corrupted so easily.
Look at
Some of them are still
fucking
great, but I mean, look at Justin Bieber.
Carrie. Fuck, what's his? One sec, I gotta find his name.
Carrie, you said Carrie. Carrie
No,
Strug?
no,
That's the only
it's not
Carrie I know.
Carrie. It's not Carrie. It's
Carrie Strug's an
I don't know
actress.
what Carrie fucked in my head there.
No.
All right, one sec, I gotta find it. Hey, Drew Carey. That's where it is. Drew Carey.
Is it he,
Um,
the Price is Right guy?
so he was. He was a Canadian comedian who
I know
turned
who Drew
completely
Carey
corrupt.
is.
Yeah, he turned
Wait.
completely corrupt, and he hates Canada now, and he's in America, and he shits on Canada and
Oh, I
parties with
didn't
all
know
the
about
corrupt people.
that part.
Yeah, yeah. Used to make fun of Canada and shit like that as a Canadian, and he used to like hang out with all those fucking big, rich, capitalistic people.
Well, sure. I mean, making fun of Canada is a comedy routine. That could very well just be comedy, right? I mean, have a little
No, he
pride, sure. But if he's being
legitimately, yeah.
disparaging, like hating Canada, that's a little, come on,
And he
man.
does it on social media and stuff like that. I've seen like Twitter posts and stuff
Oh,
like that.
not as like an SNL
Yeah.
script type
No.
shit?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's unfortunate.
But like,
I
whatever.
also liked Whose
Fuck you,
Line Is It
eh?
Now? Drew Carey's Whose Line Is It Now?
Whose line is it now? Are you talking about whose line is it anyways? The show that's all about improv with
Yes, that's what I was talking
what's his
about,
face?
Brandon.
I can't remember the guy's name.
Drew Carey!
Yeah, because he was the host, and now
He
it's
was the host.
the one girl.
I don't know who hosts it now. Drew Carey doesn't host it anymore. I don't care about that show.
No, come on, it's a good show. It's
It was the
fucking
funniest
hilarious.
show. I don't
It
remember ever
is.
actually watching it except for clips on YouTube, etc.
Oh, I've seen
But I've
episodes
never
of it. And
gone
that
out of
is
my way to
hilarious.
watch it. I mean, I'm a 23-year-old millennial. I don't own cable. I don't have a TV. I have internet. That's it. Everything's on the internet, and it's not a go-to of mine to pick, to choose, and watch. YouTube, sure, some of the clips are fantastic and great, and I'd love to be on the show. I think I'm pretty good at improv. You go ask Mr. Hackett from
Yeah, you guys didn't hear that, but
the old drama
I
teacher.
know who
Oh
you're talking
shoot,
about.
yeah, that was a real name.
Nobody heard it though. It's okay. I got it.
Drama, acting, loved it. Can't wait till that opens up again. COVID, I think, is going to be one of the last things that opens up. Theater and acting,
Well, it's
improv,
still a thing. I guess maybe
karaoke
not.
choir.
I guess maybe not in like the smaller towns that it's not really relevant in.
No, and I mean I'm in the
Yeah.
second biggest town in Manitoba, and it's as big as Cranbrook. Roughly same population. I might be off here and there, but it's roughly the same. The next biggest town is Winnipeg. There's nothing in between.
Mm-hmm.
But here
Winnipeg.
there is a drama club, and I played the Cowardly Lion in The Wizard of Oz. Just before the COVID
Of
happened,
course you
the
played.
April before COVID happened, and I loved it. I had so much fun.
Of course you played the Cowardly Lion level. Why am I not
Well, yeah.
surprised?
I mean, I was one of the youngest on the cast. I had a big voice. I can have a funny big voice. I can also. You can say that again. I mean, I can
That
be
was terrible.
cowardly. Fucking, I also sing. Singing the Cowardly Lion songs were fun, man. A lot of the Wizard of Oz songs are fun to sing, but musicals are some of my favorite. That's also why I like going. I want to
I
go to choir.
I hate musicals. I used to like part of me wishes I stayed in choir. So I did it for a little bit, but then I was like, no, not me. I obviously like in high school I turned into that fucking stoner kid that didn't care anymore. But I think it'd be fun to still participate in
Who
there.
didn't? No, choir singing is fun. I mean, I sing in the shower all the time. You get a really nice,
Who
crisp,
doesn't?
unique aesthetic, or acoustic,
Acoustic.
sorry, in the shower because the echo, because you got a little bit of rain in the background. But I can belt in the shower.
I'm really bad because I'll sit there and listen to rap and I'll just rap. I can't sing, so I gotta get. You might as well try to do the other thing where you don't need to sing. You just talk fast.
Talk fast
Why not, right?
with a little bit of extra inflection.
Yeah, and put some emotion into it. We're fine. We're good. We're good. It's all good.
Favorite rapper,
Eminem,
least favorite rapper.
Lil Wayne, believe it or not.
He's pretty
Weird
mainstream to be your least favorite. They
because
do a lot of
they do a
duos.
lot of stuff together. Little
Okay,
Wayne as well, like as a his own entity. He doesn't try. He doesn't put
I'm gonna
any
pick
effort
the
into his
world up
if you
and
ask
I'm gonna
me.
drop it on your
Yeah,
fucking head.
but
That's the only song
he
I know
doesn't
from
sing
Lil
and
Wayne.
rap it. He says that. He doesn't actually no. I mean, does have some talent rapping, and he has his time moments, but for the most part, in most of his music, he doesn't rap. He just talks,
Sure.
and I think it's not me. It's not a me style type of music. So,
Word, word, word,
uh,
word,
so
word.
Eminem has always been in my heart because I grew up with him. He was big for me in high school, especially when I deal with shit. So it was always for me.
Favorite Eminem song? You can only pick one.
Ooh,
Happy or sad or serious or
ooh,
funny, it doesn't matter.
yeah.
You can only pick one.
It's between two, I think, in my head. Probably
Don't say them
Spacebound.
both. Spacebound? Okay.
Um,
Word, that's not a bad one. Not bad, not bad, not bad, not bad, not bad, not bad.
there's a lot of good, true meaning to it that I really appreciate, and there's a lot of really good, subtle, um, like subtle statements and stuff that he says, and a lot of references he makes to life that I always appreciated. But like it's to me it's really hard because I love a lot of Eminem songs. I'm not a big Slim Shady fan. I do love Slim Shady. Don't get me wrong. Great fucking music, but not something I listen to every day because I'm more of that lyricist type of music when I listen to rap. But definitely Eminem's realist music is like top of the line.
Okay. You say you're into lyricism rap. You ever heard of Immortal Technique?
Yes, used to
They're, as
listen to it
far as
all the
I'm
time.
concerned, extremely lyrical.
What's that song? The Devil. What's that song about the devil where he
It's
It's a
called The Melting
story.
Pot.
No, it's a 7 minute story.
Yeah,
It's
it's
no
Dance with the
no.
Devil. It's
Dance
where
with
he,
the Devil. That's what it is.
no, the name of the song is The Melting Pot, but that's the line in the
No, I'm
song. I know
pretty.
exactly what song you're talking about. I know exactly what song you're talking about because that's how I found Immortal Technique.
The song is
You know,
called
about the
"Dance with
kid
the
who wanted to
Devil."
be a. Oh, I thought it was Melting Pot. Maybe
No,
Melting Pot's a line in the song, and Dance with the Devil's the name. But no, I know very well that song. Very morbid, very dark, but it's a story. It's basically poetry with
and
hip hop beats. It's
I find that was I think that's kind of my changeover from Lil Wayne to that kind of style of rapping because Lil Wayne is the same way in the way he raps, But Immortal Technique was telling a story, and it was a really intense, fucked up story, and in the end, it had a true like meaning to it. About how he regrets everything he's done,
Sure.
and when he saw what he did. So it's more appreciation because it's more of a lyricism thing, I think.
Sure. I think you probably like Fort Minor, Lincoln
We
Park type
we listen to Fort
sit down.
Minor all the time. You know
We do.
this.
No, I'm just thinking one song really highly recommend. I love their album. They were one of my first albums, Lincoln Park and Fort Minor, like an actual CD album in my hand.
Which
Uh
one was it?
After the I'm gonna look up this album right now. But Fort Minor. The Rising Tide album. So the Rising Tide album in 2005 was
That's
my main first album from Fort Minor. I remember distinctly the cover art on the CD, and I love several of the songs. But is that ringing a bell to you, that one there?
I just gotta look it up here.
And
You said,
obviously, Fort Minor, The Rising Tide.
oh, it's Fort Minor.
Yes, not Linkin Park.
I was thinking Lincoln Park.
My first
Oh, the
Linkin
Rising
Park.
Tide. Yes, yes, absolutely.
That was my first and my favorite album from them.
And that's probably one of my favorite albums. Period. Admittedly, it
But
is a really
there's
good.
some
There's a
really
lot of
cool
really good
songs on.
music. Yeah.
I don't remember the name of the one, but the
So
one that's popping out of my head that you'd like, I think you would like the best, you probably have your own favorite, was the one where they talk about rap. How, we like to make this kind of rap because it's cool and we like to sell it for money. We don't really care about what the fuck we're saying. Um, in a very
yeah,
serious kind of way. But that was my favorite song on that album. Outside of that, Reanimation, Linkin Park, the Reanimation album. If
yeah.
I remember correctly, that was the first album I actually ever bought with my own money. And it must have been at a gas station on a road trip, because I think that was my very first album ever. Was Linkin Park.
I never actually owned CD albums. When I grew up, my parents gave me a CD player, and my brother used LimeWire and made me a fucking CD with all of my favorite music on it for me. And he
Old
did that every
school
couple of
LimeWire.
years. Fucking remember Frostwire and LimeWire and
Frostwire came after, but
BearShare?
yeah, I remember LimeWire. I remember lots of torrenting. I mean,
Yeah.
I pay for all my electronic media legally and officially, and I've never torrented or pirated anything illegally. That's my official statement. But I do remember
Fucking
those
wink in the
applications very
camera.
well. What? A wink is nothing. A wink's ambiguous. What are you trying to say?
Fuck. I didn't do it. Yeah. Fuck.
We're almost done the cup of rum.
Yeah, so then when that was all that big, that's what I did. And then I moved up in the world and got like one of those really small like USB sized MP3 players.
Nano?
And it actually was a USB MP3 player. It wasn't an iPod.
Oh,
It
okay.
was it was legitimately an
An
MP3.
MP3 player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
so
remember it always. I got a couple of those for Christmas 2 or
I
3 years
got
in a row.
Yeah, so that's where I got it was for Christmas. So I with some earbuds. So I ended up my brother taught me how to use FrostWire when FrostWire became relevant, and
There you
I
go.
got all my own music on there, and I just loved that thing. I held it with me forever. I don't know if I still have it. I might somewhere buried in a box, but
I guarantee you mine's hiding around somewhere. A little USB fucking less than a 512 megabyte MP3 player that
mhm,
you pop the cap off of. It has
mhm.
a headphone hole in the other end. I probably have that hiding around somewhere in my old stuff. I had a good 2 or 3 of those. I absolutely loved them. I mean, that was before I ever got an iPod, right?
They were
So
sick, man. I never
yeah,
owned an iPod until like the third generation iPod Touch. So I freaking loved them, man. I thought they were sick. And then I got an iPod and I was set because I got to have like the third generation iPod Touch with
right.
a camera on it. I thought I was the shit for a while, even though everyone else had them. I was like, yeah, this is me. And I was using Text Plus. I didn't have a phone yet. It was a great time.
I
Really
remember all
enjoyed
the
it.
fake texting apps that we could use on our cell phone or iPods before we got phones. We were
I
allowed to
had a
get
real phone
phones.
number on Text Plus. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh man, no, those are the days. I was given my very first iPod. It wasn't an Apple brand iPod, but it wasn't like a little small thing. It was green. It was given to me for Christmas up in Prince George when I was visiting up there. But it was weird. Like it was a Zune, right? Like it was a weird off-brand Microsoft type iPod, but it was better than an MP3. It was like in the middle of the road. I wish I could find that because that's like some lost type technology that it would be really cool to have because it was in in between. It was like a transition between those MP3 players and iPods, and it never took off. It never got famous. It wasn't a Zune. It wasn't an actual Microsoft thing. It was its own thing. It wasn't a knockoff brand item from Wish because that didn't wasn't around at the time. I kind of wish I still had that. You know, it's really cool going back to those old devices and seeing what music you had on them. I've done that to
And
a few old cell phones.
you know what I like to think about a lot with that? You just say like you pick up your GameCube or your old iPod Touch or your old Zune, or your iPod Nano or whatever, and you playing with it, and you just look to where your technology is now. Everything is on my phone,
Yeah,
and you think that that's my MP3 player, that's my book, my ebook. I got books on there. I can call people. I can text people. I can send
it's your
pictures. I can
television. It's your
take pictures. I can
computer.
watch things. Yeah, like
It's your camera. It's your video
it's.
camera. It's your recorder. It's your audio recorder. It's
But
fucking everything, man.
but then you go back and you look at like the iPods and the old iPods and MP3 players, and you think back then that was revolutionary tech. And you
Yeah,
look
and it
fucking
hasn't been
15
15
now years
years.
ago, like it's amazing to see. I'm sitting in front of a fucking expensive MSI curved fucking monitor that's curved, 144 hertz. We used to think that 60 hertz, 60 FPS was the max you could see in a human eye, and then they came out with 144 hertz, and you could see the difference. And they got like keyboards now that are light up and have computers in them with screens where you can play with your fucking your music, and it's amazing just to see 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, how much of a difference in technology that's made. Because that's really, realistically, not a lot of time for evolution and
It's zero time
for
at all, dude.
inventions and things like that.
Yeah, no, this is we've done the most technology advancement in the past century than we have
Probably in
in
history.
all of human history.
Yeah.
Um,
And there's so much
it's too
different shit
fast,
coming
in my
out.
opinion. Awesome or amazing, I think, are really appropriate descriptors because it's a little bit terrifying as well as intriguing.
It is. It is definitely too fast. But you know why it's too fast? Is because, and I hate to say it this way, because but it's kind of true. It's because the government can't keep up with it.
Okay.
Things are not getting regulated properly, and it's causing people to learn how to use it faster, and there's more manipulation in the market and things like that because people, specifically the government, and I'm saying the government because the codes and regulations, they can't keep up with the new technology, so they can't keep up with the codes and regulations because those guys that make that kind of stuff have their own J jobs and stuff like that as well. So I partly do believe that, but I do think like we are expanding way too rapidly in this sort of area, in the technology area, too fast. There's too much coming out every day.
I think so. I agree it's too much. Um, not from a government standpoint like yourself, but just from a human
From both, I
psychological and
absolutely,
societal standpoint, I don't think we can handle it as a species. I
I
think we're
agree.
going to go in the wrong direction. We're going to take two steps back.
Yeah,
It's what it what's
two steps
the
back, one
idiom,
step forward.
something like that, or the other way around. Either way, it's going to be detrimental at some point. We're not going to be able to handle it as a whole populace, as a whole global
I think we're hitting
society.
that point now, though. Because you look at what it's
I think
turning
there'll be
people
some
into,
regression.
and what
There'll be
it's
some sort of regression,
and now people are going
unfortunately.
after, like, we're always being watched, and because we haven't had our privacy, and people are learning too much, and things they're doing too much. That's giving them almost too much freedom to an extent, and it's going straight to people's heads, or it's almost overwhelming to people. And I definitely think there's a lot of psychological value to it where it's
Absolutely.
coming out too fast.
Another great movie to watch with Tom Hanks and Emma Watson is called Circles. It talks about this topic. Tom Hanks creates a privacy security company to help keep people safe, but in order to do that, they record everybody's private conversations 24/7 in private locations. Everything's recorded and audio recorded, and that's for everyone's safety. But they're corrupt, right?
Yep.
That's the whole
Well,
thing in the movie.
always
But
is too.
yeah. Round and round we go, Brandon. Round and round we go. This
So,
crazy world and earth that we call home
are we
is going to
ready for
continuously revolve.
are we ready for when we hit 40, 45 years old? Do you think we can handle that? Do you think what's going to happen in 20 years? Where are we going to be at?
I think it looks like we're making it, right? I mean, we always used to talk about fucking YOLO, right?
But
Live
not
it.
even
We're not going to make it to
not
40.
even
I
that.
think at this
I
point I'm
mean
making it to
oh
40.
yeah, we'll make it, but I mean, like, think about, like, where the technology is going to be.
I'm already losing track. Dude, I'm
Exactly.
23 and I'm already becoming outdated with
Yeah.
technology. I'm
Me too,
23.
and I'm experienced and versed in fucking software programming. I can build computers. I'm good with hardware and soldering, things like that. I
Like
I
it's
I
crazy.
I agree. I can't keep up with the new fucking computer parts coming out, and I can't keep up with all the new things, features, and stuff. And the mortal way, it's overwhelming to me, especially being out of school and stuff like that. So I understand where you're coming, because I think we're gonna be those fucking cranky old people thinking, oh well, look at this fucking handheld holographic
Back in
phone thing.
my
What the
day,
fuck? Back in my day,
I
yeah.
had holographic watches and touch screens. Now you have fucking I can't even imagine what they'll have. But
Now
yeah,
you fucking have augmented reality where you send a text just by thinking about it, like.
you fucking teens and your telekinesis. Jesus Christ.
Fucking goddamn teens using the fucking force. What the hell is going on? I don't get it.
I got both sides going in my head. One, that's terrifying. Two, that's
It's
just
exciting.
like what Louis Armstrong said is, babies born now, they're going to learn more than I'll ever know.
Hmm.
Right? It's a beautiful thing. It's awesome. That's great. That speaks worlds for
That's true.
humanity, but it's also terrifying for me personally. Yes, um, I feel like I'm becoming outdated at 23, which is fucking terrifying because
It's
things aren't slowing down for me. They're just going to keep doing their own thing.
it's just so
So
overwhelming.
it is. It is indeed.
Like, I think that's like almost the best word to use is overwhelming, because it's just so much, and it's so interphased. Because, like, it's 10 years ago, I could tell you exactly what certain parts in the computer did and exactly how they did it. And now it's changed. Technology changes that way. Software, I could develop a fucking HTML5 website like nothing, and now I can't do it because there's CSS scripts, JavaScripting. You got to get into Python, C++ just for a website now. It's mind blowing. You can fucking
Too
make a
much.
website using Photoshop now, and encode it into your website. Like, it's
There's lots. And I think that there's way too much on this topic of technological advancement that we could converse upon.
it'd
That
be a fun episode.
the choice word you use there is overwhelming, which I believe it would become overwhelming to our viewers if we went past. We're hitting an hour and 10 minutes here now on our recording.
You guys are smart enough.
So
You got this. We have faith.
if we're going to tap into technological advancements and technology upgrades and computer parts, I believe that would be a fantastic episode topic as well, but not this one.
Fair enough. I mean,
What do you think about
I agree. We're now 10 minutes in too, so that's probably a
good time to start wrapping her
good
up?
time to wrap it up, because we're just kind of going off. And again, you guys know how we are. We can just keep going and going and going and playing off each other. We can fucking talk for hours. We have talked for probably 4 or 5 hours at a time because we can.
Yep, that's how we're still friends. How else would you handle fucking talking to this bastard?
Oh,
He has to
fuck,
be
I
smart. If he
know.
wasn't smart, I wouldn't be
Wow,
talking to this guy.
not the smartest, but
You don't.
open-minded
I didn't
enough.
call you the smartest. Jeez, calm down.
You fuck off. You know nothing. I mean, you're dumb as I am in hindsight, so it's okay. I just try to keep an open mind as best as possible, you know?
Oh, this was very fun. I appreciate you talking with me tonight, Brandon. Thank you all for listening. If you made it this far, fucking good for you. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening,
Come
all the
watch
guys
us
on
next
YouTube.
episode.
We appreciate you guys watching us on YouTube. As you see, we have implemented webcams. I totally forgot to mention that we are live with webcams on YouTube. So if you'd rather watch us live and you have an hour, come check us out. We're not
You
the
have an hour to look at.
we're not the prettiest to look at. I get it,
If you
but
have an hour, this is how you want to spend that
that's
hour.
right. We're
You
pretty
got a
good.
lunch break? Come
Like,
hang out. We'll
come hang
entertain
out.
you on your lunch
We'll
break.
do
Come
our
watch.
best.
Come watch. Eat your food on your lunch break.
We do apologize again for the lack of an episode last week. We will do our best to keep up and maintain. Turns into a lot, but we're getting there. We're trying to catch our groove and traction. I think with this is our biggest thing. So we're learning on the
We
way.
are.
If you guys have any concerns or feedback, we really appreciate it. Let us know. Tweet at us. Well, the Conversation Podcast is our Twitter. I'll link it in the description of both podcast and on YouTube. Um, because we want to know. We had the conversation. We weren't sure. We did an hour and 15 minutes the other week, our first one. Kind of we're talking about how it could be too long. I wasn't too sure. We do want to hear. Are we talking too much?
Probably. But,
We
you
talk a
know,
lot.
I think a really good title for this podcast would be Ketchup.
There you have it, guys. Welcome to Ketchup. Thanks for listening in. We appreciate
This
you.
is
We love all you 14 viewers and listeners. And if we get big, they're gonna be like, "What the hell do you mean 14?" But we love you. Have a great night. Good
good
day,
night,
whatever.
everybody.
Good morning,
Tom
wherever,
Hanks,
whenever, however.
remember us.
Yeah, Tom Hanks, hit us up. Subscribe too. All right, guys. Have a good
Thank you,
night.
everybody.